Hey guys! Today I wanted to do a first impression video of this Maybelline foundation, and this foundation has been sitting in a drawer for a very long time. Like about 3 months or so, because I bought it back in the store while it was still winter and I was as white as a snow bunny, and I'm still as white as a snow bunny. But you will see all of that in the first impression part of this video. Yeah, if you want to know how I like this foundation or don't like this foundation, then please keep on watching. So the product that I'm doing a first impression on today is the Fit Me foundation by Maybelline, and this is in the shade 105 Natural Ivory, and I hope that this shade fits me. There are about 12 shades available from this foundation in Germany, but I couldn't find this shade here in the Netherlands. Here in the Netherlands it's about 8 shades. It just varies in which country you go on how many shades there are available, but you can't find any light shades or really dark shades in Netherlands and in Germany. But the price also varies. Here is it about 16 euros and in Germany it's about 9,50 €, so that's why I chose to go over to Germany and buy it. But what I look for in a foundation is that it's lightweight, it's very buildable, it's blendable, and also that it doesn't cost too much or makes me look oily. I also can get a mattifying powder for this, but I just don't want to look oily throughout the day. Yeah, I hope that this foundation will be it for me, and that it's a little bit more buildable so that I can wear it during the daytime, but if I really want a full coverage foundation, that I also can build it up to that. But let's talk a little bit about the packaging, because it looks really sleek and chic to me, because it's made out of glass and it looks very slim. It's almost like it's from a higher end brand, but it's just from a drugstore brand. It has the number on it, which shade you are, and the Fit Me on the cap, and yeah, it has a beautiful pump, as much as it can be beautiful, but it's easy that it has a pump, because I've seen a lot of foundations come out recently that don't have a pump, that you just shake it out like this, but I prefer a pump because it's more hygienic and it just works nicer, because when you get too much product out of this container you can't put it back, so you have to use it all. So let's start off with one pump, and I'm gonna distribute that all over my face. I hope it's not broken on me. Oh god. It takes a while to get it out. Yeah. Yeah, I've said one pump, so let's do one pump first. The texture is really a little bit watery. It's not that it's running out of your hands, but it's a little bit light and watery. But it feels nice. And now I'm going in with my beauty blender and just buffing that in. So this is just one pump with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and it looks a little bit like a BB cream, but it covers a little bit of my redness up in here and my imperfections. It covers nicely. It's more like one pump is good for daily use. If you don't have a lot going on, not a lot of zits. But I do currently on my forehead break out a little bit, so I need a little bit more than that, but it just covers very naturally. So let's go on with the second pump. And it comes out a little bit more than the first pump, so maybe just one pump will be enough, but this is the second. And as you can see, it runs down a little bit of my hand, so it's very watery and not more like a mousse, but really a good liquid foundation. Now I'm concentrating a bit more on what I want to hide, so a little bit on my chin, my forehead, and I really hope that I can cover some of my dark circles, but I highly doubt it. And buffing it in with my beauty blender again. I can already see a difference between one thin layer or two thin layers, because My breakouts are almost vanished, but I really want to make it full coverage. So maybe if I put on third layer, maybe it will just magically be full coverage. I don't know. Let's just try out and let it concentrate a little bit more on the breakouts. But I don't think my dark circles will be concealed with this foundation. So I really will need a full coverage concealer with my dark circles. So we're gonna try that out. Try a third layer and maybe come back and go in with some concealer. Well, I do see a difference in between this side with just 2 layers of foundation on and this side with 3 layers of foundation on with my dark circles. So maybe it will conceal, but not entirely. And my chin was already concealed with the second layer, so because I have really red scarring on there from when I was a child. I fell down on my chin, so that's always a little sensitive for breaking out and redness. But it conceals my chin pretty nicely, I think. But I do think it looks a little bit too dewy, but it may seem that way because of the lighting. I just don't know just yet, but let's just conceal away. Well, my dark circles still haven't disappeared, but I don't think any foundation will do that. But the zits on my forehead are almost completely gone. I just think it needs a little bit of compact powder and then it will be fine. But the dark circles still need some coverage. So I'm going in with concealer after this. It doesn't feel too cakey at all. It actually feels pretty light. So that's a good thing. When I mostly put on 3 layers of foundation, it just feels really cakey and heavy. But this one feels really light. So I do like that about it. Yeah, it's a little bit too dewy for my taste. Just because with the lining and everything, it looks really dewy right now. And it also feels a little bit oily, so I'm going in with a mattifying powder. So the concealer I will be using for my dark circles is the NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer, and I always use this under my eyes. And I'm gonna use my finger for it, just to warm it a bit up and really work it in. And I recently learned that you actually have to put it on in a triangular shape. So I'm doing that today, just to see the difference. And really brighten it up a bit, because I see that there's a huge color difference between my concealer and my foundation. So let's see how that works. Well, my foundation does crease up, so it's a little bit too oily, so I really have to mattify it down in just a bit. Yeah, I'm done with the concealing, so I'm gonna get a mattifying powder and mattify my whole face. And the mattifying powder I'm using is the Essence Pure Skin Compact Powder in number 2 Sand. I'm really getting the power into my eye area, because that's the place where I tend to get most oily. So take a lot of powder and buffing it in. And now I'm just mattifying my T-zone, because that's also a place where I tend to get a little bit oily. So getting all that done. And what's left on my brush, just sweep it across the rest of my face. As far as I can see, how color match is, it's pretty darn okay. I don't see it in natural light right now, so I can't make an opinion on that just on the spot, but it looks about right. Maybe if I put the light on my face directly, but yeah, it's pretty good. And after mattifying it, it doesn't look too oily. It looks a little bit more dewy. It has a natural sheen to it. Yeah, I really do like it. I actually do. But let's get this thing out of my face. So my first impression on this, I do like this foundation. It's not too cakey. It doesn't lay flat on my face. It doesn't cake up. So I really like that about it. It has a natural sheen to it, but if you have a little bit more of an oily skin, it might be too much for you. But this will be a great foundation in winter, I think, when it's a little bit more dry. And yeah, I really do like this foundation. What I don't like about this foundation is, like I said, it's a little bit too dewy and too oily for my taste. I do have to mattify it, but it's a really great foundation if you want a buildable foundation. It's lightweight, and even if I have 3 layers on of foundation, it doesn't feel heavy at all. It's really light. I do think it has a lot of silicones in it because it's really smoothly. It makes my skin feel real smooth. So maybe it has a little bit of too much silicones in it. But if it doesn't, and I like this foundation, you will see it back in the favorites video when I have a little bit more of information on this foundation. But I'm glad that I finally could try this foundation out, because I was waiting for a few months to do this video. As far as color matching goes, I think it's a good color match. I really like the foundation of this Maybelline Fit Me line. Maybe I will try the concealer and the mattifying powder, but as far as this goes, I'm really digging it, and just the packaging just looks beautiful. And that concludes my first impression on the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. So that was everything you needed to know about the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found this helpful. If you did find this helpful and maybe you wanted to try the Fit Me foundation, please let me know below, because I really get excited if people want to try stuff that I recommended to them. But yeah, I hope to see you guys next time in a future video. Bye!